Hi! So actually, I almost forgot to do this video today. And as I was just about to sit down and start reading some not very good Terry Goodkind novel, I was like, oh wait, it's Friday, video time. Last week, I felt like there's some background noise in my video, so I turned my fan off. It's a little toasty in here, but I've just been trying to, during the mid-evening, not use any lights or use very few lights in here when the bugs aren't as interested, bring in the cool air, and then close my windows so I can actually use all the light I want and not have to worry about bugs, because I was getting a little frustrated with only being able to use certain lights and then still having all these bugs in here, and I just could not be bothered to keep up the tape all the time. I mean, the tape on my windows right now, by the cracks, is just covered in insects, covered in little flying ant things. And I don't understand how more can get through. But they always do. So, I'm gonna try and just do this and still look fresh, even though I'm already starting to sweat just a little bit with no moving air in here. This week was a pretty uneventful week for me. But that's good, because that means that I actually have some time to talk about some things that I've been wanting to talk about. This week, just a little update. It's the last week before classes start. Next week classes start. Monday is the school opening ceremony, so I have to wear a suit. But I haven't been that busy. I received my lesson plans from the Japanese teacher of English. I'm not excited about them, but as I looked at them, I was like, honestly, I'm gonna give this a shot at least once or twice before I start trying to make changes, because I need to see the level of the kids and what they're comfortable with before I start trying to throw my own American ideas at them. Because that could backfire way worse than simply doing something a little bit boring. So, I'm just going to go with the plans for now and try to make the most out of it. Today, my supervisor helped me with bill payments and helped me start the paperwork, so they just come out automatically so I don't have to worry about it. Luckily, my first 2 days in Nara City were considered a business trip, and so they actually paid me roughly $75, not including the fact that yen is stronger than the dollar right now. But yeah, roughly $75. So that's good, because that pretty much doubled the cash that I had out. Which is good, because then I had to pay my bills. But now I don't have to worry. It's just one more week, and I will get paid. I am, I believe, the last jet to get paid, probably in Japan. It might be an overstatement, but it might not. Most jets get paid on the 21st, 22nd. There are ALTs anyway. And I'm not getting paid till the 10th. So everybody else has had their paycheck for, well, a week and a half now. But it's okay. I've made it. I'm not starving. I don't have any problems. So it's really not that big of a deal. It's just a little annoying. As for example, I want to go visit one of my friends, but I have to wait to buy the train or the bus tickets until after I get paid. Which leads me to another point. So I mentioned in the last video that I love trains. There are many reasons for this. One, in Japan, riding a train is usually less expensive than driving, for short distances or medium distances especially. Especially when you take into account that Japan has a lot of toll roads. B, you can't get lost. Even if you get on the wrong train, because what you do is you just pay for the distance you're traveling, the train station doesn't care. As long as you have the right amount for the train station you come in, the train station you go out. I mean, you could mess up as much as you want. You could go well past where you're supposed to go and have to backtrack, and it would still cost the same. Not the case when you're driving. It's also easy to get lost. Aside from getting on the wrong train, or wandering out of the train station that's not your train station, it's not hard to get around. In fact, the signs, as well as in kanji, they also have romanji of all the station names. So you just look out and you're just like, oh, not me yet. And it's completely fine. Also, when you're on the train, you can just relax. You just sit there, you can read a book, listen to some music, not pay attention, stare at the window, and it's awesome. I love not having to deal with other people's stupid driving and ugh. Yeah. Especially because, like, I mean, I guess where the trains are is not as mountainous as where I am, but the way that people drive on the road south of me is terrifying. I went down there for pottery, and on the way down there, we're driving down the correct side of the road, the left side of the road, and all these people are coming at us completely in our lane. Not partially in our lane, not one tire in our lane, not in the middle of the road, completely in our lane, coming around these curves at around 50 miles an hour. Just like, you people are insane. I don't understand how they can think this is acceptable. There aren't that many drivers, but there were enough. I'm never alone on the road. Even when I drive at weird hours, I'm never alone on the road. So I don't know, I just don't know how they don't die all the time in car accidents here. But they don't. It's really, I don't know, not that bad as far as accidents are concerned. As far as driving skill is concerned, it is very, very bad. As far as that pottery goes, I learned I do not have the temperament to do pottery because I want to create something perfect. And that's not really possible, especially when you haven't really done it before. And I just can't accept less than perfect. So I did not enjoy a minute of that and will not be doing it again. I keep playing badminton. I'm getting better at that. I like it a lot. Even though it's hot and sweaty and I have poor communication with people on my team, it's fine. Let's see. So I've talked about the trains that I love. Oh, the flip side of trains. It's really expensive to go very far on trains. Just going by trains, it would cost me around $200 to go to Tokyo. That is insane. Luckily in Japan, they do have night buses. You just kind of hop on a bus in the afternoon or the evening, stay on there, and in the morning you're where you need to be. And they're less expensive, typically between $30 and $50, I think. Some might be a little bit more, but that's about it. And at least one chain actually has this thing. You have to buy the pass outside the country, which is really frustrating. But for about $100, you can get this pass, and there's some restrictions as to how you use it. But 5 days of your choosing, I think 5, you can go almost as far as you want on those buses. So it's a pretty sweet deal, actually. Since it's only $20 a day, and you can ride more than one bus. So that's super cool. So buses are probably how I'm going to be going long distances. For me, luckily, Kyoto and Osaka are not long distances. It would cost less than $30 for me to go either of those places. So that's exciting because those are both really cool places. So yeah, I'm fine. Tokyo's like a big crazy city anyway. It's not somewhere I personally feel compelled to be every weekend. I've never been that kind of city person. It's just insane. I've not been to Osaka or Kyoto yet to know how I feel about them, but hopefully I like them because they're close and that would be awesome. If nothing else, Osaka has a lot of stuff. They even have a Mexican restaurant. And I've heard it's not half bad. It's Tex-Mex, I believe. But I've heard it's not half bad. So I'm really excited about that. Oh, yeah. Okay. I don't think I've fully covered the concept of fruit in Japan. Maybe I have, maybe I haven't. So I'm sorry if this is something I've already discussed, but I just can't get over it. Fruit is so expensive here. It's insane. It's delicious, it's very good quality, but it is so expensive. I had some of those delicious grape-flavored grapes, but those are like $8 for a pack, without, like I said, the bad conversion rate. So it's actually closer to like $10 or maybe $11 for a very small pack of grapes. It's kind of ridiculous. So when somebody gives you fruit in Japan, it is a big deal. I've always loved fruit, but I get super excited when somebody gives me fruit. There's this one lady in town who always gives me fruit. She comes to my house, she knocks on the door, she's like, "Hey, here's a watermelon." I'm like, "You're my favorite person ever." And today I had to go to the Board of Education, partially for those bills and for some other stuff as well. And she just gives me, she's like, "Oh, you don't want any coffee? Here, take an orange." I'm like, "I love you." And I just ate it because my dinner didn't go very well. I messed up. And the orange was delicious, so it was very satisfying to me, to my soul. I got a little jealous. One of the other Jets in my prefecture, her little auntie in her neighborhood, gave her this big box of grapes and Asian pears. I can't even begin to tell you, like, it was at least $50 worth of produce. And I was extremely jealous when I saw this. Little things, little things. Oh, just a surprising things while I'm on the subject of groceries. Cheese. I was able to find sliced cheese without much difficulty at my large grocery store that I like a lot. Interestingly, they had two kinds of cheeses. They were both white sliced cheese, and to me the flavor is the same, but one of them is easy melt cheese. I don't know, it's easy melt cheese, and it does melt easy. I put it on some bread, put my microwave on toast, which I need to talk to you guys about because it's awesome. And then when it came out, it didn't look very melty, but then I was like, oh, well maybe it's because I put it on toast. And I took a butter knife and the cheese just spread like nothing. It was amazing. So I was pretty impressed with this quick melt cheese that they have, or easy melt cheese that they have here in Japan. Which launches me on to another subject that I've been meaning to talk about. Microwaves in Japan can toast things. You can put a piece of bread into a microwave in Japan, press toast, and your bread will actually be a little bit crunchy on the outside, like appropriately crunchy on the outside and soft and delicious on the inside. Now the underside of it is likely to still be very moist and not crispy, so if you want both sides toasted, you do have to turn it. And my microwave, after it's done toasting, it uses a fan, and it sounds like it's going to explode. But I love the toast feature. I use it all the time. I think it is a fabulous invention, and I do not know why we don't have it in America, because it's just mind-blowingly awesome. Like, I would seriously consider, if I thought, I don't know, it's hard because of the electricity conversion, but I would love to bring back a Japanese microwave just to be able to toast something that quick and reliably and know you won't burn it. It's very, very nice. So I've been using that actually. I eat my sandwiches toasted. It makes me feel very fancy. It's also a good way to make sort of like garlic bread to go with my pasta without heating up my entire apartment, because I mean, I have a little toaster oven that my predecessor left me, but I'm very worried that it might heat up everything. I don't know. I need to experiment. So I glanced down at the time, and I realized I'm pretty much out of it. So I'm going to wrap up there for today. Next week is my first week. I'm sure I'm going to have a lot to say, but for now, bye!